We got why everyone hates DJ Akademiks. See me, like I said, man. On the last one I read to with the other brother, what name? I used to pay. I forget the name. Like I said, I understand. Hate is it's a powerful word to me, bro. Hate is a very powerful word, but you know, I understand people want to use it in certain ways in their own words and stuff. So it would, I would say why everyone dislike them, but why everyone hates them. Let's check it out, bro. You know, I like to check out some of these commentary channels. I like the commentary channels, bro. They cool to me.
Akademiks is always in the headlines.
It's like
or another.
It's like I'm reading a book or something, or they reading us a book or something.
Whether it's his conflict with artists like Freddie Gibbs and Saucy Santana, his controversial comments, revelations about his personal life, or the chaotic personality that he displays on social media. Although his whole job just revolves around reporting on hip-hop news and drama, he somehow managed to be labeled as the most hated man in the hip-hop genre, to the point that these days, it seems like people are trying to bring him down once and for all. Today, we're gonna showcase all of the events that led him to this unfortunate point. Starting with the time that he was called out by Nipsey Hussle in 2017. Over the years, Akademiks, real name Livingston Allen, went from a YouTuber on the fringes of hip-hop culture to becoming one of the biggest commentators that the culture has to offer.
See, I discovered him on DJ Akademiks when he was posting a whole lot about like I said, that when like Chicago was blowing up then, bro. We had like the drills and stuff. Well, I'm sorry, they had the drill. I wasn't, I ain't from Chicago. I'm from straight GA, baby. And he always like be going on like, let them know what's going on over there in Chirac or Chicago, Chirac, however they call it, bro. I be like, what's going on with Cheeky, bro? I was a high school student then. Like, what's going on with Cheeky, bro? I gotta know.
Along the way, he also became one of the most polarizing figures, with some users suggesting that the biggest mistake of our generation was making this clown one of the voices of it. But the disapproval of some of the audience outside of his infamous stream chat is only part of the problem. Because for a lot of artists, the way that Ak conducts his business is seen as in no way beneficial to the culture. Back in 2017, the now deceased Nipsey Hussle pretty much set the tone for this argument.
Yeah, he's a buster. He's a weirdo. He's a whoop his ass in real life. He behind the camera, and you guys just let clowns be clowns, man. Like I was on Everyday Struggle, and I walked out just because, I'm not a clown. I don't come from that world of like you make jokes about. We used to fuck up for trying to film fights. He got a little internet run going on, but we just gotta let himself destruct because he's on the path.
The only problem for those plotting on his downfall is that Ak has weathered every storm, even when he turned a whole city against him. Back when he was still at Rutgers University, Ak began making a documentary series on the inner city gang violence in Chicago, which is known as the War in Chirac.
Yeah, that one I discovered. Hey, I ain't gonna hold that one. I was so heavily into, like, I want to know what's going on with like everything over there in Chirac, bro. Tell us what's going on with Cheeky, Fredo. I need to know it all.
Check it out now. Say niggas don't plan on living more than 15, maybe 20 years.
Fredo in that cut. That's a scary sight. And then that ball out.
25, you're pushing it.
And 600 breezy.
You know what I'm saying? Akademiks always got me into some shit. Stop putting together and I'm gonna get up with you, Akademiks.
Although he managed to get some Chi-Town rappers onto his podcast over the years, such as Lil Durk, it's no surprise that he still has no plans to visit over fear of what would happen.
I ain't going to Chicago. You won't catch me in Chicago.
And that's because of the whole Warren Chirac stuff?
I think me covering Chicago, I've developed such a fear of it.
But when he's not getting heat for using a whole city's heartache to make his
I'm not gonna lie, I thought he was from Chicago. I thought DJ Akademiks was from Chicago, man.
Name, he's catching flack for his obsession with numbers. Over the years, Akademiks has been so preoccupied with first week sales to point that, to him, it eclipses any discussion about artistry or the quality of music.
And that's what the numbers do. The numbers just signifies who's consuming it. Let me ask you this question, right? This inherent question that goes outside music. If a tree falls in the woods and nobody hears, does it make a sound? If someone makes the most amazing music ever but no one listens to it, is it that amazing?
It's a mindset like this that has done damage to his credibility and his relationship. Like when he infamously said a legend like Young Thug wasn't a big dog in hip-hop because he sold under 100K. It also led to him losing an ally like NBA Youngboy, who was cool with him until he started going down that route with one of his projects.
This says Akademiks acting like I give a f about numbers. I just dropped 2 weeks ago. This finna drop. I know I ain't worried about no numbers. This all you like to do. is to get drunk and talk.
Yeah, I can respect that. Like, yeah, like I said, don't let the numbers like get. Don't let the numbers get you, bro. Just make your music and keep doing you. Now, I don't listen to his music, but like I said, just make your music and keep doing you, bro.
That was gonna get you fucked up.
But when it comes to Ak getting into hot water after commenting on someone's numbers, they don't come more infamous than his beef with Freddie Gibbs. It all started after Freddie Gibbs threw some shade at his former label boss, Jeezy, on a podcast, claiming that he was irrelevant. Without being asked to, Akademiks waded into the conversation and claimed that it was actually Gibbs who was irrelevant.
I'm at the agree. I would definitely not let a rapper selling 30,000 think he got and could flex on me. Sorry, buddy. I've been working in this game.
Ak might have been able to come out on top in most situations he'd found himself in up until then. But this time, he'd run into a master troll. In a Twitter war for the ages, Freddie labeled him a Teletubby and even sold merch which pictured him as one, as well as offering $5,000 to any woman who would openly admit to sleeping with him. Freddie also released some hilarious freestyle.
Niggas ain't f***ing with me. When I catch academic, I'ma squeeze them titties.
And overall, it seemed like Freddie had the last laugh, and Ak even admitted this on No Jumper.
I had just moved into my crib, 8,000 square feet, so I'm like, wait, this guy think I'm in a basement stream? I'm like, yo, bro, I guarantee my crib bigger than your whole situation. So I'm talking shit. I'm like, yo, post your tax returns. I show the whole world how broke you rappers are and what's really going on. And he was just like, yo, listen, man, you look like this little Teletubby in this meme that I'm gonna post. And everyone's like, that's way funny. And I'm like, fuck.
Besides, the hip-hop community had Freddie's back. Gibbs is respected worldwide. Who will remember Akademiks in 10 years? Nobody. The whole thing has made me love Freddie Gibbs even more. Even huge YouTubers like Anthony Fantano came out in defense of Freddie Gibbs.
Meanwhile, Freddie Gibbs' responses to everything DJ Akademiks is saying, boy, shut the fuck up, you pay for sex. My son's room is bigger than your house, bitch, stop it. I'm not Vic Mensa. I want proof that you didn't have oral sex with Tekashi, so on and so forth. So everything Freddie is saying to him.
But as he's proven time and time again,
bro getting big too, I ain't gonna hold you. Ooh, boy.
It's hard to keep Ak down. And eventually, he went on the offensive again, exposing Gibbs as having a cop for a dad.
His father's a police officer. I just want to paint the irony of this whole thing. A kid who grew up playing with his father's badge, handcuffs, police uniform, and gun, and also took allowance that came from his father's police salary, said, what should I do with all of these things at my disposal? He went to a fucking studio to make up a fake persona of being some type of gangster.
Since then, Freddie continued to issue threats, and at one point, he even claimed that he could have had Akademiks killed. But Ak kept standing his ground, and wouldn't hesitate to go off on Freddie during one of his infamous Twitter rants. After Freddie had a messy split from his adult star / baby mama Destiny, Ak used this to his full advantage, to the point that he maybe went a little far.
Freddie, what you didn't know and you're gonna hear her admit is that when she hit me up, which was about 4 months ago, your child was already 2 months cooking in that belly. When she appeared on Adam 22 Plug Talk, your child was a little bit more than baby batter at that point. That's Freddie Jr. in that gut. When she wanted to link with me, this might sound crazy, but I hope you understand the grace I have extended you. I would have been rubbing that belly. I bought a stethoscope off Amazon. I was gonna have a stethoscope in my ear and have the joint on her gut.
Although everyone knew that he and Freddie hated each other, no one knew he would go that far, and were pretty shocked by it. With one user commenting, Akademiks most definitely going through all 7 levels of hell for this one. But over the course of his career, Ak has proven that he doesn't take too kindly to threats. Just look at his years-long beef with Nicki Minaj. Back when Ak was still on Everyday Struggle in 2019, Ak critiqued Nicki pretty heavily for some of her antics, and came down on her for tracks like Megatron flopping. In response, she called him Joe Budden's sidekick.
I mean, he know, like I said, DJ, he know what he doing, bro. He know it gonna get like the views and he gonna get buzz and people gonna clip it and stuff. Like, that's part of his marketing. He ain't no fool though. He know the game. He know the game.
kick during an interview with his former co-host. For a while, it seemed like Nicki was pretty unbothered, but suddenly, she slid into his DMs and let him have a piece of her mind, warning him to lay off in the process.
She said, you've been mad since I made a joke about you with Joe on my show. The people you rep will stop your job from being broke. I know too much about your family.
Hey, see, back then, bro, like, yo, I don't know why people go on VLAD TV, bro. Like, yo, I don't even want to get into that. Like, bro, y'all literally going on VLAD TV, bro. I don't know what to tell you.
For you to be playing with me, you hoe ass rat. Where you at now?
Y'all forgot about it.
She said, send your number. My husband wants to talk to you. If I were you, I'd send your number because you're going to make it worse.
As someone who wasn't yet a household name, Akademiks was pretty happy to have the queen of rap come at him like this and said it reflected worse.
This is signs of a downward spiral. Remember, she got at some journalist who criticized her, and eventually that journalist got fired. She got the right one. Like me, I like to keep it all the way public. This is how I came up, baby. Like, this is great. So she really just gave me content.
Since then, Ak has very rarely had any kind of word to say about Nicki Minaj. And after Nicki's husband was threatening Offset on her behalf, during the latest installment in her feud with Cardi B, Ak went all the way off.
I don't know nobody with a good good story about Nicki. Nicki Minaj has continued to give a facade of her being a decent, nice person behind the scenes. For anybody who's had real interactions with her, they've realized that she doesn't see anybody as someone that she should respect. Definitely not as equals. Definitely not as someone that she can't control. And now, which is very sad, and this is why I'm so happy that she's being exposed, Nicki Minaj actually thinks that she's a gangster bully. Nicki Minaj actually thinks that because she married a top-ranking blood member of some set, she could threaten and intimidate people with that guy. She tried to do it to me. He only knows what he knows. He don't know nothing about the music industry. He's a crash dummy. He's been crashed out multiple times before. It's the reason why he's on federal probation or parole.
With fighting talk like that, it's no wonder that some people have questioned if Ak is putting himself in serious danger by constantly getting lit off the Henny and running his mouth.
You say you're a civilian, right? But yet, you telling niggas to pull up, right? You inviting niggas to drama, and you saying, when you get there, I ain't gonna do nothing to you. I'm just going to defend myself. But what if niggas actually pull up? And the niggas actually pull out?
Well, as he proved during his beef with Meek Mill, Ak will also play the civilian card when it suits him. Akademiks can't.
Yeah, so, yeah, okay, so DJ Akademiks telling people to pull up. Wait, it's like, who started with who first, though? Is it the artist or DJ? If it is, then DJ Akademiks telling him to pull up, and then if that person really do pull up, then of course, you know, he gonna play the role of self-defense. But if DJ Akademiks was starting with him first behind his back, you know, and he just responding, yeah, it's too much.
Canceled because he's a bad police and our culture don't need him, Meek tweeted in 2020. He also gassed a lot of beef that got people killed and hurt, and never donated $1 to the culture. After Ak responded, saying that he wasn't in the position to cancel anyone, things escalated to the point that Meek basically implied that he was putting out a hit on him. But at this point, Akademiks immediately alerted police.
Just stop snitching on yourself. Stop telling the world you're greenlighting people, and just do what you have to do. When you say greenlighting, I send that to the police. I'm gonna be honest with you. Wait, Meek Mill just told me in front of the world I'm greenlit? Okay, here's the cops. Hey, Meek Mill, that's his account, that's his people. He said I'm greenlit. Are you dumb?
Since then, Meek has told Akademiks to stop posting him, but in typical Ak fashion, he's completely ignored that request. While Meek was probably just sick of Ak's narrative on him, one rapper who's taken it a step further to the point that it may lead to the courtroom is Megan Thee Stallion. The saga all revolves around the Tory Lanez and Megan Thee Stallion incident where he shot her in the foot at a party in Los Angeles. The whole thing has been covered pretty extensively, so I'm not gonna go into too much detail here, but the bottom line is that from the start, Akademiks wasn't buying Meg's version of events. So once the proceedings got underway, Ak was fighting Tory's corner, quickly posting the news proved that the DNA evidence on the gun was inconclusive. Immediately, Meg fired back at Akademiks and claimed that there was no possible way he could have this information. Court ain't even started yet, so why are y'all ready to start lying? I know some of y'all blogs on payroll, but please don't get sued trying to create a hate campaign. Be a real journalist and post facts. Clearly, the threat of a lawsuit did nothing to scare Ak off, who came right back at her. You've been living off a narrative, and it's sad you made it where if Tory don't go to jail, you don't win. Over time, he went from making it about the trial to going deeper about her career. At The Stallion, you literally signed to a dude, managed by a firm, and signed to another conglomerate. You don't own nothing you put out. You literally won all your awards off this "you got shot" storyline. Get your masters back, then holla. Hated by Megan's fans, and even shaded by her lawyer that labeled his actions as nothing more than the dishonest machinations of a desperate man, Ak has remained defiant whenever talk of the lawsuit came up. And if anything, he's gone even harder. Recently, when Megan claimed that her days of being promiscuous were over, he saw this as the perfect time to do an expose on her.
Tory knew you was. By the way, Tory felt you was easy. I'm not speaking for Tory. I'm speaking on everything I've heard about that situation. You was easy. It was flying to him. He never had to do it. He never had to inconvenience himself. He ain't had to do, like, you left your team, flew on a private jet without security, anybody, to see him. You're paying tens of thousands to go see him, to get piped out at his spot. He's getting free. He's chilling. He don't care.
At the moment, Megan hasn't responded to the latest claims, and she probably doesn't even have to, because by ignoring them, it contributes to the idea that he only picks on women like this. Just look at what he had to say about SZA.
But SZA, let me give you the truth. This is the ether that's gonna make your fucking soul burn. I don't care how many albums you sell. Double chin chick, you are just as fat as me. The doctors, the fucking surgeons can't fix you. The lip
That boy must be on that Henny for real.
gloss, the fake teeth, it doesn't matter. You're just a fat mini Lizzo.
That was a completely unprovoked attack, and it only ended up when his favorite rapper, Drake, had to call him up to tell him to stop. Unfortunately, his GOAT wasn't around to stop him when he decided to get brave with women by screaming at his girlfriend about how he was the prize in a mall. Unsurprisingly, he caught major flack for that. Money can't unlame a lame. He would never keep that same energy if it was a man. Weak man. And recently, he only empowered the people with this opinion during his feud with Carisha and Saucy Santana. For months now, Ak has been involved with a woman known as Shy or Shy Glizzy. Since the outset, things have been pretty chaotic, with the girl that Ak allegedly issues a $30,000 a month allowance to regularly subtweeting him, or even posting some scandalous content about Ak on his own dedicated Discord server that got it temporarily taken down. According to him, things between himself and Shy came to a head when it was revealed that she'd stolen upwards of $50,000 from various safes in his house. But when you made a lot of enemies and became a divisive figure online like Ak has, you're more likely to get mocked than receive any sort of empathy for what you went through. And that's exactly how social media responded to him getting finessed. A late entry for Simp of the Year goes to Akademiks. Yet Cheyenne isn't the only love interest in Ak's life that's causing him problems these days. And some of the accusations being made could finally be what derails his career if there's any legitimacy to them. Speaking about an unnamed woman on a recent podcast, Ak opened up about a girl who was allegedly unfaithful when Ak was in the house.
I'm shaming her now. I'm shaming her. I said, yo, I'm gonna keep it a bean with you, bro. And you came to my house and had two niggas just fuck you raw. I ain't seen no condom, no none. I told her, I said, yo, you should go get tested, man. Like, you done. I said, that's wild, yo. You should go get tested, bro. From that moment, the denial shifted, and she kept like trying to like pivot on the denial to, yo, nah, send me the video. Yo, I'm pretty sure I didn't fuck him. And I'm like, bro, you fucked him. And she was like, no, look again. And now I'm getting super tight because I'm like, bro, I'm not about to watch this video if you getting fucked. Like, it's on my surveillance. Like, bro, like, I was fucking with you. Like, what? You want me to watch the video if you getting fucked?
Unfortunately for Ak, opening up about the situation might have been a major misstep. Not willing to let him get his narrative out there challenge, Zia Abash, known on Instagram as Miss Zia, took her account and told her side, and suddenly the whole story had a more sinister side to it.
I look crazy right now, but I'm not gonna stand here and let this man continue to lie about me. That's not what happened, Akademiks. You know that that's not what happened. And for you to pretend that you didn't do anything, that I just went to your house and I'm just some thought, like we didn't know each other for 2 years. You tried to save yourself after your friends assaulted me. Whether or not you got drunk or not, I know that when you woke up, you were on top of me too. Me too, and a kit was done. You know what? I'm gonna come back with my own story. This what you wanted, you're about to get it. I've been quiet.
But outside of looking in, cause I don't really know what's be going on anymore. So, but this was the latest one I saw.
20 times.